Hello, welcome. In the middle of January,
Yeah,
Canadian winter.
Canadian winter. Yeah, that's true.
So I start with the clocks as a hobby. My first hobby in my life was electronics and radio communications. So I built my first radios, I built my first transmitters, and it became my profession. So about 5 years ago, I said, well, profession and hobby are not the same things, and they're becoming the same. Holding antennas, working in a factory of antennas. I wanted to change, and I was always curious about clocks. So I started researching how to fix, how to restore, how make it working, how it works on the first place. And I bought several clocks on auctions, which are not very good condition, and I was able to fix them. And here we go. It became my hobby. Then later on, I introduced the clocks with electronics, combining them with the motion sensors, with the batteries, with the all kind of lightning, and experimenting with that. And in the next few minutes, you will see what I created so far. Okay, so we can go from downstairs. Downstairs is the best way to start. This is my room in the basement of my house, which I converted to the clock repair shop. And since I have a lot of clocks, not knowing where to put it, they are all over the place, as you can see it. Few modifications where the clocks have been modified. I have here several to show you what I combine electronics together with mechanics. One of these clocks is this one I found, and it had a regular clock, but what I did, I put rotating pendulum and motion sensor and batteries, and now it has a very nice light effect. Instead of just showing the time, it is a decorational piece. Same thing here. There you have a very old instruments from the beginning of 20th century, from Tesla time. And I put those three instruments driven by microcontroller. Those instruments are from 1930s. That when is the last calibration done in laboratories in USA. I clean it up, restored the handles, restored the scales. It works. Just now it shows hours, minutes, and seconds. So that's my another decorative clock. Another one is even simpler. This is just a simple clock where I added motion sensor again on the bottom, and then the batteries, and they show even when you go by night, you see what time is it. One of the oldest clock I have, it's a reproduction clock from the 16th century. This clock don't have a pendulum. At that time, pendulum is based in this motion. So there is only one hand which shows the time. So now it's between 4 and 5. So somewhere about 4:30. At that 14th century, minutes are not invented yet. It was necessary to show the minutes. It wasn't important. All clock, as you can see, is made of wood, and wood at that time was the cheapest available material to make the clock from. So that the wooden clock, the metal was much more expensive and it was wasn't popular. So that's the clock is wooden. This reproduction is the same kind of clock. It's just reproduction of it, and it's very poor reproduction. I'm just using it more as a decoration than as a real clock. This is another clock from beginning of 20th century. I found it on some auction, and the face was so ugly and damaged that I created the new one with a laser engraver and put the light inside. So every time you pass, you trigger here the motion sensor, turn on the light, you can see the pendulum, you can see what time it is. Same applies to this one. This is very popular rustic clock available in Canada and USA, made in USA, but it was very often used in rural areas and it was cheap. It is a weight driven clock, so you have weights inside on the left and on the right. Right mechanism is used for hands, and the left one was for gong. The gong is very ugly with a steel wire, but I changed it to make a little bit better sound, not to sound so ugly. I don't like the sound. I replaced this one from some French clocks. French clocks, in my taste, they perform the best sound. Then you have a cuckoo clock, the German ones, card clock. This is 8-day clock, and it runs nice, decently, and I have several of them. I have even a Russian cuckoo clock, which is on top over there. And those Russian clocks, I couldn't repair mechanical part, but what I did, I take everything out and replace it with a quartz clock, so it still runs very well. Similar to this one, this is also a German one, which does the same, and this one is still mechanical. I was able to restore it, but the Russian one I couldn't. There are some another versions, like this one is a coffee grinder. It's a real coffee grinder. I even find a coffee inside. I bought it in thrift store for a couple bucks and inserted the clock inside. Or this one was the clock with the shelf, and then a clock made of the clock or watches. Those are hand watches, which are parts are taken out of the box beyond repair, called beyond repair, and made in a picture frame and made a clock of it. I have several of them. This is one of them. Another one is over there and on that wall. So the pendulum of the clock is made the sun, hence I made some decoration there. And this is actually original clock, but I enhance it by putting more details and more hands. If I had fully automated the clock, which I made on my own, is this one. It's all I created on by myself. I bought the frame somewhere in thrift store and put all clock parts inside and made a clock inside. It does light up, but the batteries are gone, so it's not lighting up anymore. I'm putting the new batteries to have a decoration working. Since I have those motion sensor, I put in my two same thing, and now I have a light in my toolbox as well. It's not on the batteries though, it is on the power supply, but it does the same thing. Turn on the light inside the cabinet. Here we go. Yes. Here we go. Here is the unlighted old clock created by me 3 years ago. This is a same clock made of steel, as you can see, and this is a reproduction, and it doesn't work very well. It wasn't created very well, so I didn't bother to find. I couldn't find the appropriate weight, and it has to be fixed on this side, and I don't have the tools to do iron. It has to be rewelded, and that's it sits there. Another clock, very interesting for me. A few months ago, I found a clock which has a pendulum which goes back and forward. Usually, pendulum go left and right, but never back and forward. And this is the dearest clock. I found it fallen down on the ground. The bottom was kicked out. All weights, which are very heavy, kicked out as well. I pick it up, bring it home, restore it, put it on the wall, and it fall again. And the same story. Now I put the clock in a stud behind, so it is very sturdy now. But it's the most accurate clock still after 2 times falling down and falling apart. Then comes Dutch clocks. This is a typical Dutch clock. So this clock I made it myself.
Nice.
With the LED lights and motion sensor again here.
This is another Dutch.
Yes, another Dutch clock winding up. This one is way younger than previous one. The previous one is beginning of 20th century there somewhere. This is the middle of 20th century. Big advancement for the clocks were flying pendulum. When the flying pendulum was invented, then clocks got way smaller and way more precise. So this is also German clock from old time. I usually find the clocks in thrift stores, sometimes auctions, if they are not too expensive, since I don't like to spend thousands of dollars for my hobby. That's a little bit too much. This is a Sarajevo, downtown Sarajevo, in where I'm born. So I take the picture of the public well, and I put the LED inside, and it's visible.
Hello, hello, hello.
This is my boss. I created that clock with a little oval, and it has a sound, it has motion sensor, it has a light too.
So how many ovals you have here?
I don't know, I didn't count. As much as I could put it in. Since when you are buying it, you're buying it in a bag of 10 or something, so different sizes, different expressions. That flower is also, I created putting the clock, which was already there. I put just artificial flowers and put motion sensor on the bottom in a pencil holder, and the batteries are there. So it looks nice, especially when you turn off the light.
And how about this one?
Oh, this one is for the Halloween costume in my work. Where I work, we had to create Halloween costume, and I put several pieces which I had available, and here we go. It is still sitting there.
And is it working or not?
Yeah, it's working.
Okay.
The clock is working, and when I put it on my head, then everything works, right?
It's funny.
On existing clock, I bought that in IKEA. That was like on the right. It was IKEA clock. I bought a frame for pictures about the same size, and put the batteries inside and motion sensor inside, and that's how it works.
Very nice.
On the left, this is a typical Chinese clock, which I bought on auction sale as well for a couple bucks. Return from Amazon, basically. As you can notice, the clocks have different hands. So one of driver or movement was broken. I put the new movement, and here I am with the new clock. So the next clock is this clock where I put a motion sensor again, and it has a light. So when you are passing by night, you can see what time is it. And it's both double-sided, so it's lighting both sides of the clock itself.
Mhm.
And then kitchen. Kitchen clocks are usually made of domestic animals, which you eat usually. Clock as well. He bought me that in the thrift store, I think. I cleaned it up and I put the ovals. Ovals were there already, but I put the eyes there. I put the mechanism there, and I put this from board which you can buy in dollar store. Those foam board. They call it foam board. I put it on a foam board, and it works very well. Those are basically German clocks, mainly Swiss guys are making. You have to wind them up every day, but the point is they work like this. So instead of pendulum, we go left and right. This girl goes up and down, keeping movement working. I'm not winding them up, but although they are both in working conditions. So this is a old year 60. It was mechanical clock. I couldn't fix it, so I just took it out and put a battery operated clock. It works well. It doesn't make any sound. This one is from beginning of 20th century, good one, and it's operational. Although I'm not winding up, since they make very loud noise when it's a full hour. Bang, bang, bang. I don't like that, so I turn it off. Not winding the clock. So that clock I got from auction. It's missing one part. It's here, wooden pin is missing, but otherwise everything works. I put a new movement, and I had this big empty space. I didn't know what to do with it. It didn't design for sound, and now it's even more space available since it's not, there is no mechanical parts inside. So I decided to populate it with the mouses. This is church, so mouse churches. I put a lot of mouse figurines, and I made even a mouse priest to talk to them, and that's how it looks. This is same factory, obviously, just this one has a cuckoo clock, so bird comes out. This is a Sarajevo where I'm born. This is City Hall of Sarajevo. I put it in a frame and put the clock inside. I created these paintings I found with this metal light post. So I put the LED inside the frame and motion sensor and the batteries on the back, and it looks cool to me. This is a Christmas one as well. It was very small though, but I find another frame, put the stars in a fiber cable. I put in about, let's say, 20 fiber cables, poke it through, and put it on the LED, so it simulates the stars.
And this is stained glass, right?
Yes, this is stained glass. The stained glass is very nice to work with the clock with, since it has motion sensor. You put light and you can see it through. Interesting clock which I got on auction. It is a clock dedicated to the teacher who got retired. Once upon a time, people go retirement, they get something from the company they work for. And this lady received this clock in this box. So this is a travel clock, and this is original box. So it goes like this, and you carry it with you while traveling. It's fully functional. I cleaned it up. I made it working. It has even a dedication to the teacher.
The name of the teacher, right?
Yeah, it is somewhere. Just I have to find it. I did this find it somewhere dedicated to, but
And you try to check online. Yeah. You
Yeah.
try.
it's from British Columbia or something like that.
Wow.
This is also my creation. I found it in thrift store for a few bucks. Bought the lighthouse, put the LED inside, put this rotating LED. It has 10 LED, which only one lights up at a time, so it gives you an effect of rotation, although it's not rotating, just shifting from one to another. This one is a very interesting story about this glass. They call this depression glass. Depression glass because it's made in depression time of United States, and it's made by adding 2% of uranium inside.
Wow.
Adding uranium inside makes greenish color and make it in glow in the dark. So I created ultraviolet source, and when you put it, it glows very brightly green, although there is no green source of the light. I found this church in thrift store. It looks cheap and it was looking good, and I said, okay, I can do better. So I made a clock, a hole, expanded the hole, and put the clock inside. I put the bell inside. I put these frescoes inside and put a light inside. So there is a motion sensor there. So in the dark you can see the light.
Wow.
You see? The church glowed the lights inside.
So so beautiful.
And the clock is accurate and it works. It's quartz clock. So more of these travel clocks, but they don't have a box. They're sold as a domestic one. So this is my museum. I made these two cabinets myself from IKEA cabinet, adding lighting inside, which is a shrine perpendicular to the source, to the LED. LEDs are turned sideways. That way it doesn't blow your eyes and still it shines very nice white light. So my father used to have this kind of fire tug, and I found it that this type of lighter is still produced in China. China bought a license from Austrian manufacturer, and they making the same lighter, still the same. Then another interesting things. For example, I have a here transistor radio which I got when I was in primary school from my grandma. She bought me same model, just different colors, but I couldn't find the colors, so I said, okay, this is close enough.
Very interesting stuff.
Steeple clock, but I couldn't fix it. So what I did, I take the quartz clock, put it inside in original face, and on the bottom I put a curving pendulum. Curving pendulum is same like here. I put a light and it looks cool. So that was some kind of clock before, quartz clock, but for me it was good entry level DIY project to change the. I change LEDs face, of course, put all LEDs, motion sensor, even put the LED in pendulum. I did that too. This is also one collection of old clocks. Some from Europe. This one is from Europe. I have a lot of small ones, so this was the case of the same clock you see downstairs. Just there is no clock. I put the shelf inside and created the showcase instead.
Okay.
Two clock I have.
The biggest.
Yes, the biggest one. I found it in thrift store, and I said this one goes with me. There is no way to leave that alone. It's a quartz one.
Uh-huh.
I had to change everything. I changed the mechanism inside and the pendulum. I saying even the cuckoo bird I have to change. I put it from some another clock which was already broken and create this one, and it works perfectly well.
So you give the second life to
Yeah. Yes.
all clocks you
Yes, indeed.
find. Oh wow! Look at this.
And this one I found also in thrift store and put a light bulb inside and motion sensor again, and it shows the time and it's night light. This one is also interesting clock which I found the instrument with two scales and then created digital. Very similar like one downstairs, just no second, but it's smaller. It's one piece. It's not three instruments. And this clock also works very well, and the radio works. I fixed the radio because I know how to do it with those are very old lamps, so it's lamp radio. When you turn it on, it takes a while until lamps heats up, and they warm up enough, they create the sound, they start working as a. Here you go. So that's I had to change the capacitors because the capacitors usually get dry. But this is more than 50-year-old capacitors inside, maybe 70-year-old, so no wonder.
This is so quite interesting.
This is from old stained glass clock.
Yeah.
I just added light, base, and the motion sensor. And this Schmidt beer is also a nice clock. I didn't add anything, I just fixed it to work, made it to work. Change the light bulb though into LED since it doesn't get hot. Usually those kind of clocks hot.
You know, the clock you made for my uh, hairdresser.
Yeah.
She's so happy. She liked it very much. Oh, this is a picture.
So this is my working on my next project.
Okay.
This
Wow.
is what I want to do. So you have a clock body, and then you make little bit garden inside with real plants.
Wow.
That's idea which I want to create next,
Wow.
and I'm looking for how to do it.
Okay.
I have all the clocks, or I can find it on thrift stores. They're selling those, and just take everything from inside. Another one from Sarajevo, and this is the most accurate clock I have. This is atomic clock, linked to accurate time source in Nevada, I think, or I don't remember exactly where it is. Somewhere in US is transmitter, and that transmitter transmits correct time. So every night, this clock go on and listen that clock base, and correct itself if necessary.
So
You didn't see the cat collection, maybe that would be good. These clocks have a whistler, so they whistle when it's a time. It's correct, and they swing the head. Now you go to restaurant. That's why you have collection.
Oh. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh wow.
Oh, they.
The Russian ones, and both one. Too late. They're gone. Now you add wine.